on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
This is a Dayton 24/7 Now Code Red weather alert.
Well, you heard it this morning. We begin right now with that Code Red weather alert and a live look over the city of Dayton at this hour. That Code Red, obviously, because the snow is falling across the Miami Valley this morning.
Now, several schools in the area are already closed for the day. You can see them scrolling right now at the bottom of your screen.
And just into the newsroom, Greene County now under a level 1 snow emergency. This, of course, is just a start as we expect the dangerous conditions throughout the entire morning. And we do have live team coverage across the Miami Valley at this hour.
Yeah, Mamie Baugh and Clara Faith are on the ground in Troy and Beaver Creek this morning.
And then Tage Joshi will be giving us a live look at road conditions from our weather vehicle at this hour. But first, we want to begin this morning with meteorologist Nick Maruziak in the Weather Center.
All right, we are looking at a morning where we've seen rain and snow. There was a period where it was coming down at a full inch an hour. Where you do see those darker bands, that's where the heaviest snow is this morning. Right for now, we have seen somewhat of a switch over here in Miamisburg, at least when I checked about a half hour ago. Just judging by the tower cam, we're seeing the flakes, but they are very heavy, wet flakes. Two things going on. Number one, those are less likely to stack up like a dry snow, and when they do, they tend to compact. So this may be a case where we're picking up an inch an hour, but it's melting and becoming half an inch. So at this present point, I'd still expect there to be periods of heavy snow. Something we do have to watch for. This is what we call a dry slot. This is where we start talking about much more calmer conditions. And as it continues to extend into our area, if it does get in, that would put a lot of our snow chances to bed. Still, I would say now between, let's say, 6, 7 in the morning, that's your main time period for it to be heavy snow across the area. Once we get into the mid to late morning hours, there is likelihood for this to switch over to rain, especially for the southeastern quadrant of our area. Once you start talking about north and west, as far probably as south as maybe Troy, we will be looking at better chances of snow. That's why I still think that this is an area where we're likely to see the biggest totals. Once you get into Wednesday night, that's where we will see more light snow. So again, the biggest problems are going to be during the morning. This is where we do have the heaviest travel impacts, especially early on during the day. As for roads, as you can imagine, things are not looking great across the area, at least at this point. You can see visibility is low. That bottom right picture, 70 and 75, snow-covered roads. So it does look like the heaviest snow may right now be just to the north of the city of Dayton itself.
And now we want to give you a live look this morning over the city of Troy at this hour. Mamie Baugh is there live for us.
She continues our live team coverage this morning. Mamie, what are you seeing in Troy right now?
Well, we're here right in front of State Route 41. I'm going to step out so you could take a look. So not long ago, just on this road, you had 4 plow trucks, one after the other, going by to clear this road. As you know, this is a main road, and you have a lot of people coming up and down this road, but slowly, of course. I did speak with the road superintendent of Miami County, and he tells me that their plow trucks are out on the roads right now. They have 15 plow trucks that are out. He tells me that he believes it's going to really be hard to keep up with this. You know, they have 422 miles of county roads that they have to clean. He tells me he believes it'll be an all-day event, so definitely be mindful of that, and also go slow if you are going to be on these roads. Another thing here is that, you know, Miami County Dispatch, they've been inundated with calls, and a lot of those calls have to do with people sliding off the road. So that really should tell you what you're dealing with here. So definitely be careful if you are going to be out on the roads. Definitely take it slow. Another thing here is that, you know, you have those cars that have 4-wheel drive that think it's okay and that they have the speed and they have the tires to be able to drive past and go as fast as they want. But no, that's not the case. They're not immune to the slick spots or the ice. And that's definitely something that the road superintendent did tell me. So coming up at 5:30, we'll hear more from him, but also we'll start measuring on the ground here in Troy how much snow has already fallen. Back to you.
We now want to give you a live look from our first warning weather vehicle this morning. You see that slushy, snowy, icy mixture on the windshield there of our first warning weather vehicle. That's the conditions we're dealing with this morning as you're heading out the door. So you definitely want to make sure you give yourself extra time. A lot of kids, they're not going to school this morning. So if you don't have to be out, don't be out at this hour. Again, safest bet is to stay at home.
And we are getting snow level emergencies coming in as we have just been on the air for the past 5 minutes. Right now, we now know Montgomery County under a level 1 snow emergency, as well as Clark County this morning. The city of Trotwood also declaring a snow emergency. I got an email personally myself. Greene County now under a snow level 1 emergency, along with Mercer County as well. Now, the city of Trotwood asking you not to park on the street. If you do, your car could be ticketed or even towed. The city of Xenia also making changes. Their offices will not be open at least until noon today. City plows on the road already in the city of Xenia since 2 o'clock this morning. I know personally I saw even ODOT crews out on 675 on my way in, and it took quite a bit of time to get here. I live in Fairborn, the Beaver Creek area. Obviously, Clara Faith is out there this morning. She has been covering this area. And Clara, kind of, explain what you're seeing this morning as well.
Well, one thing I can say that the roads are not in the best conditions. It's snow all over the roads, and me driving here was a challenge. Now, I just learned from ODOT Greene County that 675 north going towards Columbus is actually closed. They have police officers guarding it because it is a ODOT involved accident on this northbound way to Columbus. And also they are saying that they want people to take their time and be patient and work with them while they're trying to resolve the situation on the highway. And also the Greene County engineer office is telling me they are working overtime to make sure that these roads are clear by the time people get up and have to go to work.
Pavement's very it's going to be slick. It's going to be sometimes it's sloppy and messy, so it's one of those things you just keep at it until the storm abates, until it moves out of the area, and you get a chance to really clean things up afterwards. So it's basically just a routine of going back over and constantly trying to, like I said, try to keep at it as the storm progresses. Unfortunately, Mother Nature does what Mother Nature wants to do.
And that's one thing, like she said, Mother Nature is going to do what Mother Nature wants to do. So please take your time this morning. Don't rush it and just be safe. Now back to you guys in studio.
All right, we want to see what it's like where you're at safely, of course. Chime in with your weather pictures right now. Of course, we'll be featuring them throughout the morning show. Just scan that QR code on your screen. You can also submit them on our website, Dayton247now.com, or on the news app.
As snow continues to fall throughout the morning this morning, there are some things that you do need to watch out for around your home. According to Eco Plumbers, check out your furnace and output source to make sure there isn't snow piled up. If your home loses power, turn off the breakers to your heating equipment. That way, there's less of a risk of overpowering the system when it actually comes back on. And if you have an emergency like a burst pipe, call in the experts and do your best to clear your driveway so they can easily get to you.
Our team of meteorologists and reporters working to provide you up-to-minute information from weather and road updates on social media. Of course, make sure you follow and like the account so you see right there on your screen. And we will alert you to any breaking news and weather updates here on air and through our Dayton 24/7 Now app. Just take out your camera, scan the QR code on your screen, and download the app. You can find it in Google Play and Apple App Stores.
Our time right now is 5:09. Don't forget your headlines and your school closings and delays are scrolling right now at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Now we want to give you a live look at several ODOT cameras across the Miami Valley. You can see that snow really coming down. That bottom right hand is 70 at 75. You can sort of see some of the roadways and some of the areas, but I will tell you 675 was not looking pretty on my way in. Of course, we'll keep you updated on this code red weather alert.
Plus, more classified documents found, this time former Vice President Mike Pence in the spotlight. Ahead, who found them and where they were located.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
This is a Dayton 24/7 Now Code Red weather alert.
Good morning. We did expect there to be treacherous travel this morning. This is a live look from our first warning weather vehicle as it continues on the interstate. It has been a morning where we're continuing to see slushy conditions. You can see that car on the right kicking up. I believe that was snow. Yeah, I mean, you can see right there, and our driver backing off a little bit. Now, obviously, it may not be the most heavy-duty snow in terms of accumulation as the second, but based on the size of the snowflakes, this is going to add up rather quickly. And once we get these bursts of heavier snow, we could actually see anywhere between half an inch, an inch an hour, but it will compact because it is a really, truly wet snow outside. And we're still continuing to see that all across the board. Where I do expect it to be heavier is across the north in these heavier bands. That's where there's some warmer air. Some of the observations down Franklin County, over down a little bit further south, perhaps even as north as Butler County, we're actually seeing this as majority rain. Now, that being said, I do expect a switch over to snow at times, so that's not to say that the southern counties will not get any type of accumulation. It's just simply they may get a little bit less, but that's what we anticipated yesterday. Now, in terms of accumulation, still think we're good for anywhere between 3 to 5, although for Dayton area, we may come in more towards the 3s rather than the 5s. There's going to be this area of 1 to 3, so this may actually extend a little bit further north, maybe a little bit more of an east-west. But you get the general theme is the southern part of our area is going to see a little bit less snow. Now, no matter where you are, of course, the travel impacts are going to be higher, especially early on during the daytime. The heaviest impacts, those side roads, those roads that haven't been plowed yet, that is where we have our greatest concern this morning. Now, meanwhile, on the roads themselves, we have continued to see things moving slowly but steadily across much of 75. We do have at least one incident right now across the area. That is actually at 675 right now. That is a problem spot. Just actually talked to a producer about that, and they said that they had called. They expect that to be cleared within 25 minutes. That's on the right side of your screen. So this morning is quite busy outside. Obviously, we did expect there to be travel impacts, and we were talking about snow emergency, snow closings. All those have come to fruition.
It's actually, I saw that ODOT crash because that's right at my exit, a little further up. I'm one exit up, but I saw that crash on my way in, and I mean the ODOT truck was literally in the woods.
Yeah.
So that gave me an indication of what my morning was going to look like on my way
Well, when
in.
you look at the ODOT cameras, it's kind of deceptive.
It is a little deceptive
because they do look a lot cleaner than we've seen in previous storms here. But the back roads are nasty. If you're not riding in the pre-treated lanes, it's not good.
Yeah,
So,
I was looking back at the ODOT cameras because I would love to see what 675 looks like. Because on my way in, it took me over an hour to get here, and it usually takes 20 minutes. So.
Wow.
All right. Well, covering the Capitol this morning, more classified documents have been found. This time at former Vice President Mike Pence's Indiana home, which you see right here behind me. Now, the discovery was made by one of Pence's lawyers, and the documents have been turned over to the FBI. Now, it's not known what they're related to. Mike Pence has repeatedly claimed not to have any classified documents. The FBI and Justice Department are reviewing the situation, and Pence's team plans to notify Congress on the findings. Meanwhile, representatives for former Presidents Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and George W. Bush say they returned all classified documents to the National Archives upon leaving office. There's no plans to conduct any searches for them.
All right, we now want to head out to Beaver Creek again. That's where we find Clara Faith this morning. You can see the roads pretty rough behind her there.
Yeah, now she is actually covering that crash on 675 that I saw involving that ODOT truck and a semi. So, Clara, what are those conditions out there this morning in the Greene County area?
Well, I'm going to say the roads are not in the best conditions. There are definitely snow all around these roads. Actually, a snowplow truck just passed by not too long ago right behind me. But let me tell you something. 675 north going towards Columbus off of North Fairfield Road. The police officer actually just moved the cones and just moved his vehicle. I do not know yet if all of it is clear, but for where I am, the police officer did open up that exit. And like I said, these roads are not in the best conditions. Me and my folk child driving over here, we seen the conditions. It was very hard. Visibility is very limited. So if you are coming across in this Greene County area, Beaver Creek, Fairborn, Fairfield, you want to just take your time and not rush at all. Now, reporting live in Beaver Creek, Clara Faith, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
5:19 is our time right now. We've got, I love these. Ice Baby, a big break in the Antarctica. In minutes, the iceberg turning heads and the shocking size of the ice shelf.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
This is a Dayton 24/7 Now Code Red weather alert.
Good morning. Here's the view from our weather vehicle, and well, this gives you an idea of what to expect this morning. You can see the tire marks in the road, but obviously this road has not been plowed recently. Does look like a fresh snowpack there. Maybe not, I want to say 6-7 inches, not yet, but I mean there's a couple of at least an inch on the ground, perhaps maybe even 2 inches depending on where you're driving. This is what we're going to encounter pretty much on all secondary roads, and this is why we said that the secondary roads are going to be of the greatest concern during the morning hours. It is also worth pointing out there are some big flakes in the air, so from time to time if you get a gust of wind, you also get that little bit of that big flake visibility goes down rather quickly in that environment. A couple things we're tracking. Number one, the low is on top of us. The warm air, not that far away, but probably more importantly for our area, the dry air is not that far as well. Right now, it's right over Kentucky. So what we're seeing is a lot of the rain and snow peter out. Now, I do think this will, by and large, miss us just to the south. But once we start to get into this area, that's where we will likely see a lot of our rain and snow actually begin to move out of the area or dry up. Now, up until, I would say, 6, 7 in the morning, still a high likelihood for us to see heavy periods of snow. Once you get into the mid to late morning hours, that's where we will likely see things become a little bit more of a true winter mix. This evening, flurries and light snow. The biggest concern for today is now through probably 9, 10 in the morning. So right in time for your morning commute. And that's why we do have those snow emergency levels. A reminder, those on level 1s, those are where we start talking about take your time everywhere. And one thing we have been seeing is drivers take their time on the roads. Here's a live look at it from our ODOT cameras. Again, every once in a while it'll burst heavy snow. You'll lose that visibility. Right now they're looking very snow covered. Obviously, we want drivers to, if they absolutely have to go outside, take your time. That incident on 675, as Clara mentioned, they seem to be in the processes of moving things or opening up lanes. And we did get a word that they would expect these to be opened up next 10, 15 minutes or so and be good to go, at least in a sense of lanes not being closed. But obviously, with the snow on the ground, it's not going to be easy getting to a place to another.
Well, an iceberg the size of Greater London has broken off the Brunt ice shelf in Antarctica. Scientists first discovered significant cracks a decade ago. The British Antarctic Survey says it finally happened on Sunday. There's a research station located on the Brunt ice shelf, but glaciologists, which I didn't know that was a thing, say the research station was safe. This was expected. Interesting.
Yeah, there's
well,
a story
it feels
that makes
like Antarctica right now.
I was going to say, it makes you feel better, at least, about our situation. A little bit, like minorly.
Yeah.
Minorly.
Imagine being the guy who's like on the other side of the shelf. I'm not sure if I could jump. Well, we'll see you in a couple years. Like, good luck to you. Like, we'll send a boat. I don't know
Your
how
brain
that works.
waves. I just don't get it. I don't. I try every day to understand, and it's just not going to happen. It's okay, though. We still love you. It's all right.
Just watched a lot of movies.
All right.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah, there you go. 5:26 our time right now. A pursuit leads to a fiery crash in Huber Heights. In minutes, Gwen Falloon shares details on the chase and vehicles involved.
In today's Tech Bites, Amazon Prime members can now get unlimited monthly prescriptions for a flat fee. The company launched RX Pass, a $5 subscription program with about 50 medications to choose from. Prescriptions will be delivered to your doorstep at no extra charge. Lyft users can get ready to pay a wait time fee if they're more than 2 minutes late to their rides. Lyft says those fees vary by location and that additional wait time charges may apply depending on how busy it is. Uber implemented similar policies 7 years ago. And Meta is expanding its partnership with the NBA. 52 live games will be offered on Meta Quest, some of them in VR. Also, Meta's Avatar store will soon be offering NBA licensed apparel. Good to see Meta will power forward with this new concept, but if it doesn't work out, I'm sure they'll rebound and pivot to something else. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Bread doesn't go bad after a day. So why would we just give it away when we could still sell it? Because, well, bread doesn't go bad after a day. And while donating it may be a small act in this world, on this table, it will be big. Panera.
Allergy sufferers. Bedtime means it's time to take Zysol. Zysol relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. Plus, it works faster than Claritin, and on first dose, provides the same relief as Zyrtec in a pill nearly half the size. Be wise all. Take Zysol at night.
Rise it, shine it, sort it, smooth it, blend it, milk it, almond milk it.
on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
This is a Dayton 24/7 Now Code Red weather alert.
We begin this very busy morning with a live look at Dayton. At this hour, you see some of those melted snowflakes on the lens there, but this is kind of a deceiving picture because snow is absolutely coating every aspect of the Miami Valley at this hour.
It certainly is. In fact, several schools are closed already this morning, which are right now scrolling at the bottom of your screen. And this is just the beginning, of course.
We are expecting dangerous conditions on your roads throughout the morning and more snow throughout the day. So we've got a live team of reporters throughout the Miami Valley this morning to give you the very latest information to keep you safe at this hour.
But of course, we want to send it right over to meteorologist Nick Maruziak to kick off our team coverage this morning, sort of breaking down for us, Nick, the steps that this storm has taken, and then what can we expect in the coming hours?
Well, we could expect there to be periods of intense snow and possibly a little bit of a winter mix. So here's what's going on. Hamilton area, Oxford, this is where we've actually seen a little bit of rain mixing in within the snow. Even the greater Miamisburg area, from time to time, we have actually seen just a little bit more rain. I don't think it's necessarily all rain or all snow. I think it shifts back and forth. The further north you go, the better chance it is to be majority snow. Temperatures right around freezing. You can see we're in the low 30s, mid 30s. It really just depends location to location at any given time. But the general theme is for, at this present point, for there to be at least some chances of rain and potentially heavy snow during the morning hours across the board. Now, of course, that is providing a major impact to your travel. But if you look at today, once we get into the second half of the day, I think it turns mostly cloudy. There will likely be an embedded snow shower here or there, but the second half of the day should be a lot more quiet than the front half. Up until 9 a.m., periods of heavy snow are possible. Now, as for those roads, that's their primary impact this morning. You can see everything moving quite slowly this morning. We do have trucks out there, salt and plows, to give them plenty of room to do their work. And frankly, if you don't have to be on the roads, it may be wise just to stay inside today. Obviously, a day, if you do have to drive, give yourself plenty of extra time and space.
All right, just into our newsroom within the last half hour. We now know Montgomery County and Clark County are now under a level 1 snow emergency, joining Greene County as of this hour, and we'll likely see a lot more. Now, there are 3 levels you need to know about. Level 1 means roads are hazardous with blowing and drifting snow. Officials say you should drive with caution. Now, level 2 also means hazardous roads and roads are icy. Officials urge you only drive if necessary, and if you do, again, use extreme caution. Now, level 3 is the highest level. Roads are closed at that point, except for emergency personnel. You should check with your employer to see if you need to go in, and anyone unnecessarily on the roads could be cited.
And now we want to give you a live look from our first warning weather vehicle at this hour. You can actually see on the roadways there, they are looking awfully wet. As you head out this morning, we are bracing even more for that kind of that rain, snow, sleet mix this morning, which can make for a really messy morning commute. And now we want to send it right out to Greene County at this hour, where Clara Faith is live.
And Clara, what are you experiencing out there in Beaver Creek area?
Well, it's exactly what Elise said. It is that snow rain mix. Just a few moments ago, it was raining and now it's back snowing, and the roads are definitely not in the best condition. Now, some snow piles have been coming through. I actually heard from ODOT Greene County spokesperson. She said 675 North is back open, but it's only one lane. I repeat, only one lane is open and another lane is closed. So if you are traveling that way this morning, you might want to take your time. She did not give me an estimated time on when that lane will be back reopened, but for right now, one lane is open. And as you can see, cars are still on the road. People are traveling this morning, starting to pick up for work, but just take your time. Just literally take your time and do not rush at all, because these conditions are very serious. Now back to you guys at studio.
All right, we now want to give you a look at some videos and pictures here on our website, Dayton247now.com. This is through Chime In right now. You can see here outside of our studios here in Miamisburg, snow accumulating rather quickly here. We do want to take a glimpse at this video of a snowplow doing some work here. You're going to see a lot of those out and about today. So if you do see snowplows out on the road, give them plenty of space. You want to keep everybody safe. And of course, we do want your help in telling the story this morning. So if you are able to safely, please grab some pictures, some videos, head to our website or use the Dayton 24/7 Now app and make sure you chime those in. You may see them live on air or even online.
And now we want to move north in the Miami Valley this morning into Miami County. That's where Dayton 24/7 Now's Mamie Ba is live. And Mamie, what exactly are you seeing north of the city of Dayton?
Well, lots of snow, and this snow is chunky and it's sticking, and you see it on the ground. We're here in Troy, right near State Route 41, and take a look at just how much snow has accumulated. We'll get to the measurements in a minute because I do have a ruler with me, but I just want to say I did speak with the Miami County Engineer's Office, and the road superintendent tells me that they are going to have a hard time keeping up with these roadways. So take a listen to what he said.
No, I don't believe so. I think on average our routes are 30 miles long, and you times that by 2. So it takes a good 4.5, 5 hours to get around a route.
So I'm told they believe it's going to be taking them all day to really get this snow event under control and clear out those roads for you. I just want to explain a little bit of how things work. So the county takes care of the county roads, ODOT takes care of your highways, and then each city takes care of their city roads. So there's a system in place here to really get these roads cleaned up, and for some it might take all day. But let's get to those measurements that I was telling you about. So this is the ruler here, so let's put it in. So we're at above 3 inches here, almost close to 4. So a lot of snow has fallen here in Troy. So much snow here, and a lot of people have been going by State Route 41 that is behind me. Be cautious and just drive slowly. And if you do have 4-wheel drive, you are not immune. These roads will humble you really quickly. So definitely be mindful of that. So coming up, we'll be hearing a lot more from the road superintendent, and also I'll be getting into some closures that are happening in this county. Back to you.
As we receive weather updates this morning, of course, we will continue to alert you on air throughout the entire morning, but also through our Dayton 24/7 Now app. You can take out the camera with you, scan that QR code on your phone right now, and then make sure that you can download our app. It's always free for you to do so, of course. And you can also find it in Google Play and in the Apple App Stores if you search either of those. Now, our team of meteorologists and reporters, as we've been reporting all morning long, will keep you up to date, up to the minute updates on social media as well. So make sure to follow and like the accounts that you see right there on your screen.
All right, we want to show you now a video from Huber Heights as you see multiple cars catching fire following a crash on Brant Pike. Several people sent to the hospital. Gwen Falloon was at the scene and brings us the latest information.
The pursuit began just before 5 last night. Deputies out of Harrison Township were following what they believe to be a stolen white BMW. As Huber Heights officers attempted to interfere, the suspect vehicle hit an officer near 70 and Brant Pike. She was taken to the hospital with minor injuries and is reportedly conscious and alert. That is the first crash. The second crash took place just moments later as the BMW continued on Brant Pike before crashing near Grismer Tire, hitting 2 other vehicles and starting a fire. There was a 4th vehicle involved, but it did not catch fire. Just before 6 last night, Sergeant Josh Fossnight with Huber Heights Police told me at least 4 people, including the 2 people in the stolen BMW, were transported to the hospital. However, that number has climbed to 6 plus the officer. The driver of the uninvolved vehicle and a minor child were taken to the Huber ER and have since been released. As for the other 2 vehicles' occupants, they were exiting their crashed vehicles when the stolen BMW burst into flames. The driver of a Honda sedan suffered 2nd-degree burns on his leg. He was taken to Miami Valley Hospital. The truck driver sustained 3rd-degree burns on most of his body, and he remains in critical condition at MVH. As for the driver of the stolen vehicle, after he attempted to flee on foot, he was arrested in a nearby business's parking lot. He sustained minor injuries, as did his passenger. Both were taken to MVH. Police say both crashes remain under investigation. Reporting in Huber Heights, I'm Gwyneth Falloon.
Just into our newsroom this morning, Preble County is also now under that level 1 snow emergency. So those snow emergencies have been rolling in since we started the show, not even 45 minutes ago.
And of course, we do have school closings and delays also rolling in. You can see them right now on the bottom of your screen.
Of course, weather is always on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
A World War II veteran enjoying another trip around the sun. Just ahead, hometown hero Adam Arrow highlights his birthday celebration.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
This is a Dayton 24/7 Now Code Red weather alert.
All right, we're heading up to the Troy traffic circle where this morning the snow has come down there pretty heavily at times. Now, you compare that to what? Couple 20, 30 miles south, and that's where we saw a lot more rain snow mixture. Or if we're seeing snow, it's a really, really wet snow that's ongoing right now here in Miamisburg. In fact, I was just outside, and what we were seeing is basically the fact that we did have almost a very true wet snow that really wasn't sticking. The difference may be just temperature. 32 in Troy, 34. We talked how these temperatures would be very much so on the border. That's exactly what has come to fruition this morning. Now, in terms of the heaviest snow, still continues to march, and we are starting to see a little bit of dry air. That's anticipated. I still think that there is a chance we can continue to pick up heavier amounts of snow, but again, those are going to be further north into the west as opposed to the south and east. That's where we will have drier air, a little bit warmer air. This will likely continue through the mid to late morning hours, and again, by noontime, I think that rain will spread all the way up towards the Troy areas. So there is a window for heavy snow. Again, the best chance would be across the northern half of our area.
This week, a local World War II veteran celebrated a really big birthday.
And as Adam Arrow shows us, he's also a prime example of a hometown hero.
This is Jack Ferris. He's a World War II veteran, and on Monday, he turned 103 years old. The Dayton VA Medical Center says Ferris was born in Kentucky, but spent most of his life in Dayton. He served in the Army in the Philippines during World War II. He then worked for the Bendix Corporation in Dayton, which is an engineering and manufacturing company, for many years. Ferris gets his health care at the Dayton VA, and this week he celebrated that big day with family and friends. Ferris said he never thought that he'd live this long. But his real secret to longevity, he says he doesn't have one. He says he's just happy to be here. We all wish Mr. Ferris a very happy birthday and thank you for your service. You are, in my eyes, a hometown hero.
If you know someone that's a hometown hero, let us know, of course. Grab your phone and scan the QR code.
You can chime in your submission through our app. We just need a description of why they're a hometown hero and a few pictures or video.
Our time right now, 5:45 this morning. A body found in Mexico. Just ahead, an update on the Miami grad and Butler County architect missing south of the border.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
DNA evidence has confirmed that a body that was found in Mexico is that of a missing Butler County architect. The body of Jose Gutierrez was found after he flew to Mexico last month to visit his fiance's sister. The bodies of Gutierrez, his fiancee, her sister, and cousin were all found in a shallow grave and near their van. Now, investigators say it was riddled with bullets. Gutierrez is a Miami University graduate, and he was just 36 years old.
This is a Dayton 24/7 Now Code Red weather alert.
All right, we are looking right now at the greater Beaver Creek area. Of course, this is where 675 was shut down earlier on this morning. It has since been reopened, although there is at least a one-lane closure. And you can see there's a fresh snowpack on the ground. The snow continues to fall. It is a very slushy wet snow. Now, the difference between a wet snow and a slushy wet snow may be just a difference between a degree or two. And that's one of the reasons why Dayton, despite getting some really hefty bands of what I'm going to say is snow, it may not have accumulated quite as much as, let's say, Troy or other areas where it was just a few degrees. Again, we're talking about a degree or two being the major difference between us getting a lot of snow versus us getting measurable snow and a wet snow. but more of a slushy wet snow. Here's where the dry air is. Once the dry air comes in, that'll put a lot of the snow chances to bed, but I don't really see it getting into our area until mid to late morning. Now, in terms of travel impacts, up until 9 a.m., there's still going to be the potential for some heavier snow. Once you get towards noontime, it's really going to be a true winter mix. The northern part of our area will likely see snow. The southern part, more rain. And then you start looking at 3 p.m., probably more rain and clouds. Now, in terms of where you're going to feel the impact, it's all about the side roads. The main roads are going to be impacted as well, but of course, they are taken care of first as a priority. The visibility will also be low at times, especially when we get those heavier bands moving through and you get those winds. What you end up is almost a snow fog effect, and that's likely to occur during, again, the early morning hours up until probably the middle part of the afternoon, the middle part of the morning. So once you get beyond that, now because we have all that combination, you can see the level 1 emergencies across the area. We just added Preble to that list. As for this morning on the roads, obviously a much more difficult morning commute than we are typically used to. We do have the roads snow covered, slushy, very wet at the absolute best. If you are traveling this morning, give yourself plenty of extra time. Again, we do expect there to be at least some headaches, including 675 this morning. 675 right now, at least one lane shut down in the Fairfield area.
Our first warning weather vehicle is out and about in the Miami Valley, tracking road conditions for you at this hour.
And right now, we want to check in with Tage Joshi. And Tage, what exactly are you seeing out on our main highways at this hour?
I-75, and surprisingly, this looks really clear. The crews have done a good job clearing this thing up. We are heading northbound right now on I-75. I'll show you guys another look right here. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yep, we'll show you a look of what we're driving on right now here on I-75. All the lanes are pretty clear. The shoulders are even clear if you need to check that out as well. Now, leading up to the highway, some of the roads we were just on in the Miamisburg, Centerville area are not the most clear. I was on Lyons Road, a major thoroughfare between Washington Township, Centerville, and Miamisburg, and about only one of the 2 lanes was really clear, but they are doing a great job on the main road. So I-75 doing a great job, looking very clear right now. We're heading northbound right now, and we'll continue to have more updates on these major thoroughfares in the Dayton area for you throughout the morning.
Our time right now is 5:52. We want to give you a live look right now at downtown Dayton this morning. We're experiencing a lot of snow this morning as you wake up and check the forecast right now, and a lot more snow coming down here over the next couple of hours. So definitely stay tuned with us. We're working our best to keep you safe this morning.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
In this morning's GMA First Look, an important consumer alert for credit card users everywhere. Watch as a man dressed as a construction worker places what police say is called a skimmer on top of a credit card terminal in a Fresno, California convenience store while his partner works to distract the store employee.
The second suspect, in just a matter of seconds, pulls out a skimmer, places it over the point of transaction area.
The skimmer then gathering data from unsuspecting customers who swipe their credit card, feeding the information to the suspects who police say they're still looking for. The U.S. Secret Service, which safeguards payment systems, says skimming crimes are on the rise. And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have the expert tips you need to keep your credit card finances safe. With your GMA First Look, I'm Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
This is how it feels to do more with less asthma, thanks to Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Imagine that. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
We're still waking up to some snow across the area, although for right now here, it's just looking more flurries than anything else. Now, granted, this is in an area where there's tree cover, there's roof cover, but I wanted to give you an idea. We've got our a ruler here. We're looking at just about shy of an inch here. Now, other areas, we're seeing a little bit more. Now, probably there's some still snow on the ground. Now, looking at what's going on outside here, this is Miamisburg, and again, this varies location to location. We're getting flurries and some light snow. Again, we'll continue to keep you updated throughout the area.
And we've got a lot more coming up for you on ABC 22 in the morning, beginning at 6 a.m.
Here in Greene County, road conditions are continuing to be the issue. I tell you more coming up soon.
And of course, we will continue to follow this breaking news all morning long with that winter weather that is now hitting the Miami Valley. Make sure you stay here on Dayton 24/7 Now, but also the very latest on our website, Dayton247now.com.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
This is a Dayton 24/7 Now Code Red weather alert.
You are waking up to a blanket of snow across the Miami Valley this morning. A live look at the city of Dayton. As you just heard, we are under that code red weather alert as snow is continuing to fall across the Miami Valley.
And just into our newsroom moments ago, Champaign County is now under a level 1 snow emergency, joining Montgomery, Preble, and Clark counties at this hour. Also, schools are closing and more listings are coming in each and every minute. You can see them scrolling right now at the bottom of your screen.
And this is just the beginning as we expect dangerous conditions throughout the entire morning. In fact, we have live team coverage across the Miami Valley. Mamie Ba and Clara Faith are on the ground in Troy and in Beaver Creek.
And we have Tage Joshi giving us a live look at road conditions in Dayton right now. But first, we want to start off with meteorologist Nick Maruziak in the Weather Center with the latest developments. And Nick, how much snow are we seeing right now?
Well, it depends on where you are, and I think that's probably the biggest factor this morning is temperature and where exactly you are. Just happened to measure outside in and around Miamisburg. We haven't really seen too much being added on. Now, we have seen in the Troy area, Mamie gave us a total that was significantly higher. Be interested to see this live report if she's picked up more snow. And then further to the northeast, this is where we do have, or northeast, that's where we do have some of the heavier bands moving through. What's ending up happening is drier air and warmer air is starting to approach. So the southern part of our area will likely switch over before the northern part of our area to more of a winter mix. Even before that, what we have seen here in Miamisburg is when it is snowing, it is a really wet snow and it's almost melting on contact as opposed to adding up. Either way, there's likely to be some travel impacts in and around the Dayton area throughout the morning hours. Snow and mix, potentially heavy at times now through 9 a.m. Even at noontime, more of a mix. The lone exception, the northern part of our area where we'll see more snow. And by 3 p.m., it'll be mainly rain or clouds. Although it is worth pointing out, we will see a switch over back to snow during the second half of the day. The side roads are going to be the most problematic. The main roads and visibility at times will be, frankly, not very good. As for the roads, now this is what it looks like across our maps. This can be somewhat deceiving. We have seen, again, rain, snow mixture across the area, and also we have seen some of the vehicles go slowly. As for any incidents, 675 at North Fieldfield Road, that's exit 17. We did have an earlier incident there. There is still one lane closed. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated on any other road closings or delays that come into the newsroom.
And now we want to give you a live look from the city of Troy right now. Traffic is moving around. You can actually see some salt trucks already out there. Mamie Ba, that's where she's live for us.
She continues her live team coverage this morning. And Mamie, what are you seeing in Miami County right now?
Well, right now the snow has kind of tapered off, so take a look. You don't really see the bigger chunks that you saw earlier coming down, but you can even see with the road there is some improvement. The road is more so wet, and as cars drive by, you know, Nick just mentioned that when it comes to the snow, it's almost melting on contact, and with the road already wet and that snow coming down, it's not really sticking like it was. Not to mention, you do have plow trucks that are going down this road. This is State Route 41. We are in Troy, but still, in other places, there is still a lot of snow accumulation. So with my yardstick again, I'm going to show you how much snow has fallen here on the ground in Troy. So take a look, almost 4 inches here. So a lot of snow. So you definitely have to be careful because in certain parts there is still a lot of accumulation. But when it comes to this road, when it comes to certain roads, the roads are just wet, but still it doesn't mean that you can still just drive by however you want. You still need to be cautious. You still need to give room between the person in front of you because, you know, you just never know what could happen during these conditions. So that's one of the biggest things here. Now, the county engineer's office, he tells me he believes it's going to take them all day to really get some of these streets cleaned up, especially because they're in charge of the county roads. And the county roads, some of them are really, really long. So they have 15 plow trucks out getting that done. And then you have ODOT taking care of your highways. And then you have the city taking care of city roads. So a lot going on here, a lot of parts in play here to get the snow cleaned up here in Miami County. Back to you.
Snowplows already on the road this morning, but as the weather gets worse, your morning commute could get dangerous.
Yeah, more and more people are going to be heading out onto the roadways. Hopefully, though, if you can stay home, please do. But Tej Joshi is joining us right now live, taking a live look at those roadways. And Tej, what have you been seeing as you've been out for the past about hour or so?
Good morning, guys. Well, actually, right now, I'm driving through downtown Dayton, and things look pretty good. There's not too many people out and about, and for the most part, the roads are relatively clear, as Mamie and Nick were just mentioning. A lot of what we're seeing on the ground right now is that wet, slush-type snow, but it's not very thick here in downtown Dayton. Right now, I'll show you, we are driving through the Oregon District, 5th Street here in downtown Dayton, and even the main area of downtown on Main Street, where we just were about a minute ago, not many people out, which is the good news. So there's plenty of room for crews to keep doing their work, and there's not too much snow on the ground here. We're barely even seeing any on the sidewalks here. Now, on the highways, that I-75, which we took in our weather vehicle to get up to downtown Dayton, that was pretty much fully clear. All the lanes and even the shoulders were cleared on I-75. So things were looking pretty good. We're continuing to drive through downtown Dayton. We're seeing some vehicles that are doing that clearing work, even in the parking lots as we drive by them. And as I said, I mean, this looks relatively good out here, but we're still keeping our eyes for some of the slick spots because we do have a lot of that slush type mix on the ground. When I stepped out of the vehicle, my shoes did get wet immediately, so that's just one thing to keep in mind. Definitely wear boots if you're planning to go outside or anything like that. But overall, I do have to say we are enjoying, I guess, being out on the roads this morning. Not as bad as I thought it would be, but as Nick said, it certainly could get worse. So we're going to keep an eye on that. I'll give you one more look as we're driving back into the main part of downtown Dayton here. Just taking a look. Overall, streets look pretty clear, but be careful, guys. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Tej, thank you so much. At this hour, Montgomery County is under that level 1 snow emergency in place, along with Clark, Mercer, Champaign, and also Greene County at this hour. The city of Trotwood is also declaring a snow emergency, which they are asking you not to park on the street. If you do, your car could be ticketed or even towed. Xenia also making changes. Their city offices won't open until noon today. City plows, of course, we have seen several across the Miami Valley already out since the overnight hours. And we want to now head back out to Beaver Creek. That's where Clara Faith was covering an accident on 675 this morning involving an ODOT truck.
Now, Clara, has it cleared up at all out there?
So regarding the 675 North accident, yes, it has cleared up. One lane is still closed and one lane is open, so people can still drive on the northbound lane. Now, as of the roads, we actually just had about 3 snowplow trucks coming and cleaning these roads. I mean, big ones just coming right through here, cleaning some of these roads. And these roads are actually looking better than earlier, about an hour ago. But one thing that I am noticing, I have glasses on, and the snow is hitting me right in my face. And if you're driving, that's going to be happening to your windshield. So let me tell you, take your time. Don't rush and be safe. And like I said, the visibility is very, very minimum. You're going to need to make sure that you have your windshield wipers on, going back and forth. And I actually hear another snowplow right behind me. This is what we're seeing. This is all you're seeing in Greene County. Snowplows are just coming, rushing through, clearing up these roads and trying to get people so they can get to work on time. And that's what's going to be happening all morning from ODOT to city to Greene County. They're all working together to make sure these roads are clear for workers to start work in the morning.
All right, Claire, thank you so much. Stay warm out there. We want to see what it's like in your area. Chime in your weather pictures right now. You help us tell the story. We're going to feature them throughout the morning. Just scan the QR code right there on your screen. You can submit them on our website, Dayton247now.com, or on the news app. Also, our team of meteorologists and reporters are working to provide you up-to-the-minute weather and road updates on social media. Make sure you follow and like the accounts you see right there on your screen. And we will alert you to any breaking news and weather updates here on air and through our Dayton 24/7 Now app. Just take out your camera, scan the QR code you see on your screen to download the app. You can also find it in Google Play and Apple App Stores.
6:09, our time right now. Don't forget, you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen, along with those school closings and delays.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Let's take a live look this morning from our ODOT cameras across the Maumee Valley. That bottom right-hand corner there, that looks like there is an accident involving a semi. This is at 70 and 75 at this hour. It does not look like it's slowing things down on the highway. However, that exit ramp may be closed. Of course, we will going to check in with ODOT here in just a moment, and we will keep an eye on the situation for you, which is developing right now.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
This is a Dayton 24/7 Now Code Red Weather Alert.
Good morning. We're going to start things out in Troy, where it does look like maybe the snow has let up just a little bit. Of course, our Mamie Bob was out there earlier this morning. Really interesting to see the report from the 5:15 hour, where there was 3 inches on the 3.5, somewhere in that ballpark, of snow on the ground. And the last update was not much snow has fallen. Now, at the same time, here in the greater Dayton area, we have seen some light snow, but it's really falling as more of a wet snow sleet mixture. And because of that, it is not adding up. So while we've had some impressive amounts of water, we really haven't seen quite as much accumulation, not quite yet. Now, again, I don't want to say that this is turning into a complete bust, if you will, but it is trending towards maybe a little bit less of a total accumulation event and more towards an impact style event. Meanwhile, we're watching as the dry air continues to move in. This would mean a lot of the snow chances would come to an end. So now through, I would say, mid-morning is the chance for heavy snow. The best chance would be across the northern part of our area. Again, warmer, also drier air, a little bit more rain would likely fall during late morning hours into the early part of the afternoon. Once you get to evening, could still be some areas of lighter snow. Now, excuse me. I've gone ahead and just slightly tweaked our forecast. What I've done is I've turned 1 to 3 into more 1 to 2s and 2 to 5 in the greater Dayton area. Again, just based on what we're seeing right now, there will likely be some spots, and I'm thinking the Eaton area, maybe the southern portion of Montgomery County, that won't see quite as much snow. Now, meanwhile, if you are traveling this morning, here's been the biggest issue that we've seen right now. This is 70 and 75. Obviously, that's a major area. You can see the amount of emergency vehicles does look like that is somewhere on the exit ramp, and that looks to be blocked off. So if you are traveling in and around the area, give yourself plenty of extra time all across the board. This is a morning where if you don't have to travel, maybe wise just staying home.
And we're continuing our team coverage this morning with meteorologist Paul Petit joining us right now from Oxford.
And Paul, what do things look like out where you're at?
Well, we're seeing similar conditions here. We've been out here for about the last 2 hours, and we're on a fairly busy road in Butler County in the Oxford area, not far from the campus. And I will tell you one thing that has changed in the last maybe half an hour is we can see the actual lines on the road. We've had a couple of plows come through here from the city over the last few minutes. You see some folks out. To be honest with you, we've seen just as many folks out plowing as out driving. If you look close there in the parking lot in that business, it looks like somebody's doing a little cleanup right now. Little pieces of snow falling from the power lines. It's hitting us as a wet snow. There's been occasionally maybe a little bit of sleet mixed in too. And there's a lot of snow that's on the ground down here in Oxford. Some of it had been on the ground from the last event that we had. So in some places where I stuck the ruler down, you know, I could easily come up with 4 or 5 inches. But in the areas where it looked like there hadn't been anything to begin with, probably around 3 inches of snow so far in the Oxford area here in Butler County this morning. And there goes somebody past us right now. Maybe, yeah, that last couple of hundred feet into the gas station. I guess they needed a boost. As you can see now, once the roads have cleared up somewhat, traffic is a lot faster than it was when we first got here. A lot of the side streets in Butler County and even some of the state roads were nearly, you couldn't really see what was in front of you as the snow came down. The intensity of the snow was much greater at that time than it is right now. But we're still getting some wet snow, maybe a little bit of sleet mixed in. The wind's not too bad. The conditions, though, continue to be bad enough that the winter storm warning continues, at least here in Butler County. Where I'm reporting live this morning, I'm meteorologist Paul Petit. Now back to you.
All right, Paul, we appreciate it. Our time right now is 6:17. We want to give you a live look right now at the Dayton skyline at this hour where we've got some mixy conditions coming down here in the Miami Valley. We've got our live team of reporters out on the streets right now working our best to keep you safe. We're going to continue to provide you updates all morning long.
You can also find the latest on our website, Dayton247now.com. You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
On ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
This is a Dayton 24/7 Now Code Red weather alert.
Good morning. Here's the view right now from the Beaver Creek area, and obviously the roads are wet right now. Does look like it is a very wet snow falling, just judging based off of the picture. Now, what we have seen here in Miamisburg, there you go, a plow just went through, so it's not just a little bit slushy out there. There is actually still some snow on the ground as well. Now, what we are seeing is a rain-snow mixture or a very wet snow. It's not the type that's accumulating rather easily, and based on the fact that we are expecting some warmer, drier air to move in here, especially the southern part of our area, I'm not anticipating maybe as much snow across the southern part. Now, in terms of timing, now through probably about, let's say, 8, 9 in the morning, that's your best chance of heavy snow, especially north and west. So Troy area, Greenville, Salina, Wapakoneta, maybe as far west as Richmond and as far south. Those are the areas that we have the greatest concern for the heavy-duty amounts of snow. Not that we can't pick up another inch or two in and around the Dayton area, but it is trending much more towards maybe a lighter snowfall event, but a bigger impact event due to the fact that we have snow on the ground and very slick conditions developing. The worst of the road conditions are likely early on. By 3 p.m., I think that things will get slightly better. But if you are traveling today, it's those side roads that are a major concern. Meanwhile, 70 and 75, this is something that we have been tracking rather closely. This is blocking at least, I think that is the exit ramp. So again, part of your morning commute, you can already see how traffic is starting to back up. Now, meanwhile, other incidents, 35 East at Steve Whalen saw that one. Didn't look like that was backing things up as quite as much. So again, 70 and 75, a mess this morning right at that intersection. A lot of us beginning our morning commute. Give yourself plenty of extra time, and if you don't have to be on the roads, it may be wise just to sit this one out because, again, slick conditions and dangerous driving conditions are possible.
Certainly a headache as you're heading out the door. We do have 2 quick updates here just coming into our newsroom. Wright State announcing that the Dayton campus will physically open at 11 o'clock this morning due to the winter weather. In-person classes are moved to remote learning.
Also this morning, Wright Pat Air Force Base is on a 4-hour delay. I'm actually just trying to look at that tweet that I sent out to the newsroom. On a 4-hour delay for normal reporting time today. Slick and hazardous road conditions. All employees are advised to use extreme caution while driving. Again, we are continuing to follow this developing situation for you. We have a team of live reporters across the Miami Valley at this hour. And here's a live look from our first warning weather vehicle right now. Looks like Tage is heading out on the highway this morning. I know he was in downtown Dayton area. He's going to be checking out some of your other major roadways as we continue on this morning.
As always, make sure you keep up with us online and on social. You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
This is a Dayton 24/7 Now Code Red weather alert.
All right, we're going to take a live look right now over Dayton, where it has been a rain-snow mixture across the area. It has been one of those mornings where treacherous roads are likely. We have continued to see traffic moving slowly at, excuse me, best. But again, we're not quite sure if we're going to continue to see rain or snow. Mainly because of temperatures across the area. So let's go ahead and take a look at them. 34 right now in Dayton, but 32 in Lima, 34 in Muncie. So what we're seeing is basically the freezing level right on top of us this morning. And whether it's a little bit above the freezing mark south of Dayton or it's a little bit below, has a huge impact on how the snow is interacting, whether it's melting or whether it is actually starting to stick to the ground. Now, in terms of the heaviest bands, a heavier band just about to enter Montgomery County. We have continued to see some heavier bands south in Butler, but that's where actually we did get a report maybe an hour ago that it was falling mostly as rain, and that would make sense. Again, we are seeing the warmer air there as well as some drier air. Once the dry air starts to move in, that's going to cut a lot of these heavier bands down. It'll become either more of a drizzle, more of a flurry, more of a very light snow. But it is expected to put an end to a lot of the heavy-duty snowfall, and actually it will help visibility. Now, that's not to say it's going to help road conditions, that because we already still have the snow on the ground. Now through about 9, 10, 11 this morning is going to be the big problems. Once you get in towards the afternoon, we will see somewhat of a switch over to more of a wintry mix. By the evening, the light snow will continue across the area. Now, in terms of traffic, this has been the biggest issue when it comes to this, and the biggest issue is right now exit ramp 75 south to I-70. That's exit 61. If that is part of your morning commute, that exit ramp is closed. You can see the incident there in the right scene, the right exit ramp. It is closed again, so if you have to travel in and around that direction, you need to think of an alternate route. And again, based on the fact that it is slower as well, you're going to need to plot ahead a lot of extra time, and that's no matter where you are traveling. We do have some other incidents that we're reporting, including 35 and 75. However, at the present point, we haven't seen any major slowdowns based on our cam scan. Give yourself plenty of extra time. We're continuing to keep you updated on those roads as soon as they come in.
All right, we have a couple updates for you online right now. You can see that Right Pat tweeting out this morning that the base is on a 4-hour delay from their normal reporting time due to the weather. Also, we have a tweet from Wright State as well, I believe. All right, well, Wright State is also on a delay. Classes don't start there until 11 o'clock this morning.
All right, we will continue to follow this developing situation for you. Our time right now, 6:29, still to come.
Well, here in Greene County is wet and road conditions are still a concern. We have more coming up.
But first, here's Genevieve Gorder with America's Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
The space we live in is so important to all of us, and that really starts with the base of a healthy, clean home, including the air that we breathe. And there are so many pollutants that can affect the air inside of our homes, from our pets, dust, allergens. What's the solution? Here's one. This is the Clean Light Air. It's super compact, easy to use. It even fits in the cup holder of your car. It's an air filter that can remove up to 99.9% of particles you don't want in your house, like smoke, odors, pet dander, air pollution. And this thing is small, but really mighty. It can purify up to 161 square feet at a time. So think about it in your office, your kid's dorm room, for a small bedroom. So many people love using these in the kitchen while they're cooking. Even if you've never thought about the air quality in your space before, you will absolutely feel the difference right away with this product. Place them anywhere your pet hangs out, or when you're going somewhere running errands, put it in your car. It's super quiet. It's super easy to use. And another thing I love, you can charge your devices at the same time. There's a USB port. Add your favorite essential oil to the sponge inside so the air will not only be clean, it will smell great. And today we're offering a 2-for-1, both of these for the price of less than you normally pay for just one. Take advantage of this deal. Go to asadeals.com.
on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
This is a Dayton 24/7 Now Code Red weather alert.
We begin with a live look over the city of Dayton this morning as we're under a code red weather alert as snow continues to come down here in the Miami Valley.
Yeah, you can see those snowflakes and even some sleet and rain on the camera. Schools are closing at this hour as well. And right now they're scrolling at the bottom of your screen. This is just the beginning to what could be a very messy morning commute.
We are expecting dangerous conditions on your roads throughout the morning and more snow throughout the day. We've got a live team of reporters throughout the Miami Valley to give you the latest information.
But first, we want to send it right over to meteorologist Nick Maruziak this morning. He has been actually tracking this storm since the weekend. And Nick, how are things sort of planning out over the next couple of hours?
Well, it's one of those mornings where no matter where you are, we're seeing the issues, but the heaviest issues are generally speaking across the northern half of our area. That's where we do have the more level 1 emergencies. And the reason that we're seeing the bigger issues is look at temperatures. We're in the low 30s, low 31 right now in Bellefontaine, 32 in Wapakoneta, 32 in Greenville, and 32 right now in Urbana. So again, those are the areas where we have seen those snow emergency levels. We are looking at right now the temperatures generally to the south of Dayton above the freezing mark. That's why we haven't seen maybe quite as many issues or have seen a little bit less so in terms of accumulation. Meanwhile, heavy snow bands mixing in with rain are likely through Butler County, now moving in towards Preble, the southern portion of Montgomery County. These will continue to move north, and as they do, the biggest concern is going to be those areas that are below freezing. Those are going to be the spots that will likely see the periods of heavy snow. So if you are planning out your day, the second half of the day looks like it's still going to have the impacts from right now, but we are looking at a wintry mix. This will likely become snow. Temperatures will be in the upper 30s later on, but again, right for now, we're looking at temperatures either side of freezing, and the biggest impacts are across the northern part of our area. Speaking of the northern part of our area, 75 south at 70. This has been the biggest problem spot. This is where we do have that exit ramp blocked, and you can see traffic already starting to form a line all the way back. So if you're traveling in towards Dayton, that is your biggest problem spot. Otherwise, we have seen slow access at I-70 at Dayton International Airport, and near Wright-Patterson does look like there is snow on the ground. Other than those right now, we still continue to see slow driving conditions. Give yourself plenty of extra time all across the board.
We've got some new information coming into our newsroom. We now know that Darke County is under a level 1 snow emergency, joining Montgomery, Greene, Clark, and a lot of others here in the Miami Valley. Now, here are the 3 levels you need to know about. Now, the first level, which we just heard about just moments ago, level 1, means roads are hazardous with blowing and drifting snow. Now, officials say you need to drive with caution. Now, if we move to a level 2, they're also hazardous roads, and roads are icy. Now, officials urge you only drive if necessary, and if you do, again, use extreme caution. And level 3 is the highest and most severe. Now, roads are closed in that scenario except for emergency personnel. You should check with your employer to see if you need to go in, and anyone unnecessarily on the roads could be cited.
And as we have mentioned all morning long, conditions are already dangerous on our roadways, especially on those, even the main roads and side streets.
Let's check in with Tej Joshi. He's live in our first warning weather vehicle. And Tej, what are you experiencing out there right now?
Good morning, guys. We are checking out several of the highways in our first warning weather vehicle just to see exactly what the conditions are for ourselves. We were on I-75 both north and southbound earlier. Overall, it was relatively clear. They had plowed everything. Even the shoulders were open. Right now, for the first time, we've just hopped onto 675. This is 675 southbound that you are seeing right now. And conditions are relatively clear right now, too. The plows have done a good job of keeping these major thoroughfares clear. I do have to mention, though, if you get on some side streets, so that like we were earlier, it is still quite slushy. And we have that kind of wintry mix right now on 675 coming down, creating a slush effect right now on these roads. We're kind of starting to feel that. Hopefully the plows can get back out here and continue to keep things nice and clear. I do have to mention as well, when we were in downtown Dayton just a little bit earlier, that's where we were really seeing some slush. Even the main road roads in downtown Dayton. We were driving through and you could feel the wet, slushy feel. I got out of the car myself, actually, walked around. I went through Riverscape Metro Park and immediately my boots were wet and it was pretty slippery. So if you're going to be walking out and about, even on the sidewalks, if they look clear, they might not be, because that ice, that slush, doesn't look as obvious as the snow. So you got to be careful about that. I'm going to show you right now as we are merging back onto I-75 northbound from 675. Some of the ramps are a little bit more slick than other places that we've been driving as well. This ramp doesn't appear to be too bad. As I said, though, I-75 and the major highways seem to be pretty clear. We're going to keep updating you guys on I-75. We're going to continue to head northbound on I-75 to see some of the problem areas that Nick was mentioning earlier and see exactly what things look like there. But for now, back to you guys in the studio.
And this morning, we want to send it right out to our Mamie Baugh, who is live in Miami County. And Mamie, what are those conditions you're seeing north of the city?
Well, like I said, the snow here has kind of tapered off. Even when you're seeing it on your camera lens, it's not coming down as hard as it used to. You know, much earlier, it was those chunks of snow. And even with my hand out, a lot of it is coming down and just melting on contact. But I'm going to give you a measurement here of some of the snow that has fallen. So I'm going to put my yardstick in, and is it? Yep, almost at 4 inches here. So a lot of snow has fallen here in Troy. So you just have to be aware of that. A lot going on. This is a main road here, right? So this is State Route 41. So this road is clear. The problem is your side streets. So just understand that your side streets are not going to be that clear. So you just want to definitely take your time going. But again, a lot of the snow is not as heavy as it was when we initially came out here. But a lot of snow has fallen here in Troy, almost 4 inches of snow. So be mindful of that. And you know, we keep saying this, but a lot of it is slushy. So, you know, just a tip, if you are getting ready this morning, you can even opt for rain boots instead of, you know, your snow boots, because a lot of this has melted. And even though you have plow trucks going by, you know, they came by much earlier. So now a lot of it is just slush that you see. And so definitely be careful if you're out on the roadways and the side streets are still not done yet. Back to you.
And as we continue to get weather updates for you, we will alert you on our air and through the Dayton 24/7 Now app. Take out your camera on your phone, scan that QR code right now on your screen to download that app. Of course, it is always free. You can also find it in Google Play and in the Apple app stores as well. And our team of meteorologists and reporters have been giving you up-to-the-minute updates on social media. So make sure to follow and like the accounts you see right now on your screen.
Our time right now is 6:42. Of course, don't forget your school closings and delays are scrolling right now at the bottom of your screen.
Your weather, of course, on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Taking a live look at the Troy traffic circle right now. We just saw Mamie Baugh out there. They got about 3 to 4 inches. But you see roads still very slick for your morning commute. Keep that in mind as you head out the door.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
'Twas more than a dusting of snow in Amarillo, Texas. This was the scene from our station there. Parts of the area got heavy snow Tuesday morning, and it was the first snow experience for these dogs, originally from Florida. Tuesday was also a good one for other Amarillo area fur babies. Meanwhile, a look at Washington, D.C. by twilight ahead of a winter system expected in that area on Wednesday.
Want to see your weather photos and videos on TV? Click Chime In on this station's website to share.
Snowflakes. Now it's more of a rain-sleet mixture, and every once in a while what we're hearing is the thuds from the snow, from whether it's the tree, whether it's from some of the furniture out here. It's hitting the ground. You could just hear thud, thud, thud. It's really a thick, wet snow, and that's one of the things that we do expect to continue throughout the morning hours. Again, right for now, it's more of a very light rain, almost a sleet mixture, but from time to time, you will start to see it come down as more snow. In terms of accumulation, I haven't seen much more this morning here in Miamisburg. Of course, we have seen heavier snow to the north. That's where there are cooler temperatures. I can tell you this much. It's not fun to be outside, but maybe we're avoiding the worst case scenario of really high accumulations here in the Miamisburg area.
And of course, we'll continue to follow this developing situation. We have a team of live reporters across the Maumee Valley. Let's check in right now. 6:47 is our time.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
This is a Dayton 24/7 Now Code Red weather alert.
All right, here's the view right now from the Troy traffic circle where we have seen probably some of the heavier amounts of snow this morning. That's also where it's just a touch cooler outside, and thus instead of being wet snow at times, it actually came down as an accumulating snow. And now sometimes wet snow can accumulate, but in this case we have seen at least some areas turn into more sleet more rain, more of a mix, and that's honestly what's going on right now over our heads here in Miamisburg. Now, if you are traveling, no matter what, the main takeaway is today, you want to give yourself some extra time. Temperatures are starting to warm up just by and large by a degree or two, and that's all it takes is for these temperatures to get into the 33, 34 area for us to start to see the snow maybe not stick around as much, perhaps not even accumulate. Now, meanwhile, across the region, the coldest air is generally speaking to the north. That's why the biggest concern for us would be the northwest part of our area for that heavier accumulation. As for the radar, I know it shows a lot of deeper, darker blues, but just based on what was falling over my head and what I'm seeing on radar, there seems to be a little bit of a split, meaning that there may not be quite as much of the snow falling across the area as it would seem. Now, if you are traveling, again, expect to see wet roads, expect to see rain, snow all across the board. We have continued to watch the 70 and 75 area because there was a exit ramp being blocked there due to a two-vehicle incident. That was in the exit lane on I-75 South, and you can see what it looks like on the northern part of our area at Colonel Glenn Highway. Again, if you are traveling this morning, give yourself plenty of extra time. There are a couple of incidents in and around the area, but as of right now, my biggest concern, again, northern part of our area, due to the fact that we have a little bit of heavier accumulations.
Our time right now is 6:52. We want to give you a live look at Beaver Creek at this hour, where one of our reporters is stationed up. We got reporters all over the Miami Valley. You're taking a live look right now. You see snow out there in the Miami Valley. And of course, we will continue to check in with our team of reporters coming up here very soon.
This is a Dayton 24/7 Now Code Red Weather Alert.
We begin this morning with a live look right now over the city of Dayton, where you can see it is a mix of rain, sleet, and snow on that camera. As we mentioned, we are kicking things off with a code red weather alert this morning.
Yeah, certainly a mess out there at this hour. There are several schools already closed for the day. Also, many of our counties are under a level 1 snow emergency. Of course, all that information you can see scrolling right now at the bottom of your screen.
You mentioned those snow emergencies. Greene, Preble, Montgomery, and Clark counties all under that level 1 snow emergency, which means that the roads are dangerous, and we can expect to see even more dangerous conditions throughout the morning commute as well.
Now we do have live team coverage this morning. We begin with snow plows already on the road this morning, but as the weather gets worse, your morning commute could get dangerous.
Yeah, we want to send it out to Tej Joshi this morning for a live look from our first warning weather vehicle right now.
Sorry.
Am I a beeper?
All right, we'll get back out to Tej here in just a minute. We seem to be having some technical difficulties. As I mentioned just a moment ago, at this hour, we have several counties under a level 1 snow emergency. Montgomery, Clark, Champaign, Greene. Darke County has been the latest under that snow level emergency. The city of Trotwood declaring a snow emergency as well. Not to park in the street. They're asking you guys not to park in the street. And if you do, your car could be ticketed or towed. The city of Xenia also making changes. Their city offices will not open until noon today. And of course, we have seen several plows across the Miami Valley since the early morning hours. And we now want to head out to Greene County in Beaver Creek specifically, where Clara Faith is live for us this morning. And Clara, what are you seeing out there?
So I'm here in Beaver Creek off of North Fairfield Road, and what I'm seeing, the roads are actually more clear than it was this about an hour ago or 2 hours ago since I've been out here. The roads are still wet, very, very wet, and actually it's like rain, snow mix hitting me right in my face as I'm talking to you guys. And this is the road conditions that's going to be probably all morning, just wet roads. People are definitely coming out. Here go another snow truck passing by to go do his work, but this is what we're seeing all morning. We're seeing snow trucks, we're seeing people on the roads. The roads are wet. You want to take your time, do not rush it at all. And if you have to go out today, please be safe and just take your time and have a little extra time. Now back to you guys in studio.
Clara, thank you. And as snow continues to fall throughout the morning, there are some things that you need to be watching out for around your home, of course. According to Eco Plumbers, check out your furnace and your output source to make sure there isn't snow piled up. If your home loses power, turn off the breakers to your heating equipment. That way there's less risk of overpowering the system when power comes back on. And if you have an emergency like a burst pipe, call in the experts and do your best to clear your driveway so you can help, or the help can easily get to you.
Our team of meteorologists and reporters are working to provide you with up-to-the-minute weather and road updates on social media. So make sure to follow and like the accounts you see on your screen right now. And we will alert you to any breaking news and weather updates on air and through our Dayton 24/7 Now app. Just take out your camera and scan the QR code you see right on your screen to download the app. You can also find it in the Google Play and Apple App Stores.
Okay, a couple things we are watching this morning. You can see the view at 675 Colonel Glenn. That is where visibility is quite low. Meanwhile, 70 and 75. 75 south at 70 in particular. The exit ramp is closed. You see how traffic is moving slowly in that area. 70